You may have heard of the Jurassic Period, where dinosaurs roamed the land, but that's just one chapter in a much longer story that spans billions of years. Come with us as we journey back in time to witness the birth and evolution of our planet, from the fiery Hadean Eon to the icy Quaternary Period. Our planet's history is like a blockbuster movie, full of drama, action, and surprises. Along the way, we will encounter the ancient wonders of the Archean and Proterozoic eras, where life emerged and diversified in microscopic forms. We will explore the Cambrian explosion, where life exploded into a dazzling array of shapes and sizes. We will marvel at the fish, forests, and amphibians that flourished in the Ordovician, Silurian, and Devonian periods, and the coal swamps that dominated the Carboniferous. We will experience the rise and fall of the reptiles in the Mesozoic era, marked by mass extinctions and meteor impacts. We will then witness the emergence of mammals, birds, and flowers in the Cenozoic era, and the arrival of humans in the Quaternary. Earth's history is a cosmic adventure, inviting you to discover the amazing story of our remarkable planet. Our journey kicks off with the Hadean Eon, where Earth was basically the universe's chaotic kitchen, mixing up elements and dealing with cosmic collisions. This dates back approximately 4.6 billion to 4 billion years ago. The Hadean Eon represents the very early stages of Earth's formation, including the accretion of the planet from cosmic dust and debris. Conditions during this eon were extremely harsh, with high temperatures and frequent impacts from celestial bodies. Next is the Archean Eon. This dates around 4 billion to 2.5 billion years ago. During the Archean Eon, Earth's surface cooled, and the first oceans formed. Simple life forms, such as bacteria and archaea, likely appeared during this time. The atmosphere began to develop and contained gases like methane, ammonia, and water vapor. The Archean is followed by the Proterozoic Eon, which dates roughly 2.5 billion to 541 million years ago. The Proterozoic Eon saw the emergence of more complex single-celled organisms, including eukaryotes. Around 1.6 billion years ago, multicellular life forms began to evolve. The end of the Proterozoic Eon is marked by the appearance of the first animals. Now it's time to fasten your seatbelts for the Cambrian explosion, a rapid diversification of life forms. During this time, many major animal phyla appeared, marking the beginning of the fossil record of complex animals. The Cambrian period dates approximately 541 million to 485 million years ago and marks the beginning of the Paleozoic era, which means ancient life. This is when most of the major animal groups that we know today first appeared in the fossil record. Some of these groups include arthropods, such as trilobites and crustaceans, mollusks, such as snails and clams, echinoderms, such as starfish and sea urchins, chordates, such as fish and tunicates, and sponges. The Cambrian period also saw the emergence of the first animals with hard parts, such as shells, exoskeletons, and spines. Some of the most famous fossil sites from this period are the Burgess Shale in Canada and the Chengjiang Biota in China, which preserve exceptional details of soft-bodied animals. The Ordovician period follows suit and dates around 485 million to 443 million years ago. The Ordovician period was a time of great diversification and expansion of marine life, especially among corals, brachiopods, bryozoans, graptolites, and cephalopods, such as nautiloids and ammonites. The first coral reefs and the first vertebrates, jawless fish, appeared during this period. The Ordovician period also witnessed the colonization of land by plants, fungi, and arthropods, although they were still very primitive and restricted to moist habitats. The Ordovician period ended with a mass extinction event, caused by a series of glaciations that lowered sea levels and changed climate patterns. About 85% of marine species went extinct, making it the second most severe extinction event in Earth's history. The Ordovician period is followed by Silurian period, which dates roughly 443 million to 419 million years ago. The Silurian period was a time of recovery and stabilization after the Ordovician mass extinction. The marine life rebounded with new groups such as crinoids, eurypterids, sea scorpions, and placoderms. The first jawed fish and the first land vertebrates, amphibians, evolved during this period. The Silurian period also saw the diversification and spread of terrestrial plants, such as moss, ferns, horsetails, and seed plants. The first vascular plants, with tissues that transport water and nutrients, and the first forests appeared during this period. The Silurian period was a time of warm and stable climate, with high sea levels and low continental glaciation. Then comes the Devonian period. This period dates approximately 419 million to 359 million years ago and is known as the Age of Fishes, because it was a time of remarkable evolution and diversity of fish. Some of the major fish groups that emerged or flourished during this period include sharks, ray-finned fish, lobe-finned fish, lungfish, and coelacanths. Some of these fish gave rise to the first tetrapods, four-legged vertebrates, such as Ichthyostega and Acanthostega, which were able to move between water and land. The Devonian period also witnessed the diversification and dominance of terrestrial plants, such as lycophytes, sphenophytes, pteridophytes, and gymnosperms. These plants formed complex ecosystems that supported herbivorous and carnivorous arthropods, such as insects and spiders. The Devonian period ended with another mass extinction event, possibly triggered by volcanic eruptions or asteroid impacts. About 75% of marine species went extinct, especially among corals, brachiopods, trilobites, and placoderms. The stage is now set for the Carboniferous period, which dates around 359 million to 299 million years ago. This period is marked by the widespread growth of forests, leading to the formation of extensive coal deposits. Amphibians diversified during this time, and the first amniotes, reptile-like animals, appeared. The Carboniferous period is named after the abundant coal deposits that formed from plant remains during this period. The Carboniferous period is divided into two sub-periods: the Mississippian, 359 to 323 million years ago, and the Pennsylvanian, 323 to 299 million years ago. The Mississippian sub-period was a time of warm and humid climate, with high sea levels and extensive shallow seas. The marine life was dominated by crinoids, brachiopods, bryozoans, ammonoids, and sharks. The first reptiles, such as Hylonomus and Petrolacosaurus, evolved from amphibians during this subperiod. The Pennsylvanian subperiod was a time of cooler and drier climate, with low sea levels and fluctuating glaciers. The marine life was dominated by fusulinids, corals, bivalves, gastropods, and nautiloids. The terrestrial life was dominated by giant and diverse plants, such as lycopsids, sphenopsids, ferns, seed ferns, and conifers. These plants formed vast swamps and forests that covered most of the land. The terrestrial animals included large and diverse arthropods, such as millipedes, centipedes, scorpions, and dragonflies. The vertebrates included amphibians, reptiles, and synapsids, mammal-like reptiles, such as Dimetrodon and Edaphosaurus. Up next is the Permian period, which dates around 299 million to 252 million years ago. This period witnessed the evolution of reptiles and the dominance of certain groups, such as synapsids. It ended with the largest mass extinction in Earth's history. The Permian period marks the end of the Paleozoic era and the beginning of the Mesozoic era, which means middle life. The Permian period was a time of dramatic changes in Earth's geography, climate, and life. The continents collided to form a single supercontinent called Pangaea, surrounded by a single ocean called Panthalassa. The climate became more arid and seasonal, with cold winters and hot summers. The life became more adapted to dry and harsh conditions, with reduced diversity and increased competition. The marine life was dominated by brachiopods, bivalves, gastropods, ammonoids, and foraminiferans. The terrestrial life was dominated by gymnosperms, such as ginkgos, cycads, and conifers. The vertebrates included amphibians, reptiles, synapsids, and diapsids, which are reptiles with two openings in the skull, such as pelycosaurs, therapsids, pariasaurs, captorhinids, procolophonids, and archosaurs, which are ancestors of crocodiles and dinosaurs. The Permian period ended with the most severe mass extinction event in Earth's history, known as the Great Dying. About 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial species went extinct, possibly due to volcanic eruptions or asteroid impacts. Next is the Triassic period. This dates approximately 252 million to 201 million years ago and saw the recovery and diversification of life after the Permian mass extinction. The climate was generally hot and dry, with large deserts covering much of the land. The Triassic period saw the rise of many new groups of animals, including the first dinosaurs, mammals, turtles, crocodiles, frogs, and lizards. Some of the notable animals of this period include Plateosaurus, one of the earliest and most primitive sauropod dinosaurs. It could grow up to 10 meters long and weigh up to 4 tons. Nothosaurus, a marine reptile that belonged to a group called Sauropterygians, which were related to turtles. It had a long snout with needle-like teeth for catching fish, and 4 paddle-like limbs for swimming. It could also haul itself onto land to bask in the sun or lay eggs. It was about 4 meters long and weighed about 300 kilograms. The Triassic period is followed by the Jurassic period, which dates around 201 million to 145 million years ago. This period is known for the dominance of dinosaurs. Mammals and birds also continued to evolve. The Jurassic period was a time of expansion and diversification for the dinosaurs, which became the dominant land animals. The climate was warmer and more humid than the Triassic, with lush forests covering much of the land. The continents continued to drift apart, forming new oceans and seas. The Jurassic period also saw the first birds, pterosaurs, flying reptiles, and flowering plants. Some of the notable animals of this period include Apatosaurus, one of the largest and most famous sauropod dinosaurs, which had a massive body, a long neck and tail, and 4 pillar-like legs. It fed on plants with its peg-like teeth and swallowed stones to help digest them. It could grow up to 25 meters long and weigh up to 35 tons. Allosaurus, one of the largest and most fearsome theropod dinosaurs, which had a large head with powerful jaws and teeth, short arms with 3-fingered claws, and long hind legs with sharp talons. It was a top predator that hunted large prey such as sauropods or stegosaurs. It could grow up to 12 meters long and weigh up to 2 tons. Stegosaurus, one of the most distinctive dinosaurs, which had a small head with a beaked mouth, a bulky body with 4 short legs, and 2 rows of large plates along its back and spikes on its tail. It could grow up to 9 meters long and weigh up to 5 tons. Archaeopteryx, one of the earliest and most primitive birds, which had feathers on its wings and tail, but also retained many reptilian features such as teeth, claws, and a long bony tail. It was about 0.5 meters long and weighed about 0.5 kilograms. The Cretaceous period. This dates roughly 145 million to 66 million years ago. The Cretaceous period was a time of climax and decline for the dinosaurs, which reached their peak diversity and abundance before going extinct at the end of the period due to a catastrophic asteroid impact. The climate was warmer and more variable than the Jurassic, with polar ice caps absent and sea levels high. The continents reached their current positions, creating new habitats and isolating some groups of animals. The Cretaceous period also saw the diversification of flowering plants, insects, fish, reptiles, and mammals. Some of the notable animals of this period include Tyrannosaurus rex, one of the largest and most famous theropod dinosaurs, which had a massive skull with powerful jaws and teeth, tiny arms with two-fingered claws, and muscular hind legs with large feet. It was an apex predator that hunted large prey such as Triceratops or Ankylosaurus. It could grow up to 12 meters long and weigh up to 8 tons. The Triceratops, one of the largest and most recognizable ceratopsian dinosaurs, which had a large frill on its neck, 3 horns on its face, and a parrot-like beak. It was an herbivore that fed on low-growing plants with its shearing teeth and used its horns and frill for defense or display. It could grow up to 9 meters long and weigh up to 12 tons. The Ankylosaurus, one of the largest and most heavily armored ankylosaurian dinosaurs, which had a broad body covered with bony plates and spikes and a club-like tail. It was an herbivore that fed on tough plants with its grinding teeth and used its armor and club for protection or combat. It could grow up to 10 meters long and weigh up to 6 tons. The Pteranodon, one of the largest and most advanced pterosaurs, which had a long pointed beak, a large crest on its head, and membranous wings supported by a single finger. It was a flying reptile that soared over the oceans and fed on fish with its toothless jaws. It could have a wingspan of up to 7 meters and weigh up to 25 kilograms. The subsequent periods belong to the Cenozoic era, which includes the Paleogene and Neogene periods, and culminates in the present-day Quaternary Period. The Paleogene period dates approximately 66 million to 23 million years ago. It witnessed the diversification of mammals, the evolution of early primates, and significant changes in climate. The Neogene period dates roughly 23 million to 2.58 million years ago. It saw the continued evolution of mammals, including the appearance of hominids, which are ancestors of humans. The Quaternary Period, which dates approximately 2.58 million years ago to the present. The Quaternary Period is the most recent geological period and is divided into the Pleistocene and Holocene epochs. The Pleistocene is characterized by repeated glaciations and the evolution of Homo sapiens, modern humans. The Holocene represents the current epoch and encompasses the time since the last major ice age, during which human civilizations have developed and flourished. Each period, from the tumultuous beginnings of the Hadean Eon to the rise of Homo sapiens in the Quaternary, paints a unique stroke in the masterpiece of our planet's journey. The dance of life, the drama of mass extinctions, and the resilience of species echo through the eons, reminding us of the incredible forces that shaped our world. That's it for today on Curious Gate. Please remember to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications so you don't miss when we upload new content. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious.